And we welcome you back to the Ford 400. You saw the number 17 car, the number 1 Green Bay Packer fan on the NASCAR circuit. Matt Kenseth continues to lead. But the man who's stalking him right there in the 20 car is a story as we start to look ahead to next year. Consider, folks, this is the last day that you're going to see Tony Stewart driving a Chevy. That's right. Next year, the Gibbs team will make that switch to Toyota, and I wonder how all his fans will accept that. Tony very loose prior to the start of this race. He felt he was going to have a good run. The fellas upstairs have been telling you he's got one of the fastest cars. It's been a disappointing chase overall, but smoke has pulled up into the number 4 spot right now as we send you back on top. Dr. Jerry Punch and Dr. Punch, Jimmy and Jeff, they're kind of keeping their eyes on each other, aren't they, partner?
They are teammates. They're staying close on the racetrack as well as in the point standings. Brent, here's a 29 car, Kevin Harvick on pit road. Let's go down to Mike.
And they've been struggling with that car all day long, Doc. At times it's been tight, at other times it's been loose, all in the course of this same run. This time they make a chassis adjustment, wedge, 4 tires and fuel.
And it looks like that car's been running a little bit tight. I saw him on the right rear jack boat go down on it, which is an indication they're loosening the car up, trying to make the front end turn better on it.
Trying to keep up with this changing track. Probably cooled down about 10 degrees now, and these guys are having to screw on these jack screws to try to keep up with it.
Boy, right now the sun is just about completely gone here. This track's going through a big change right now, and it's continuing to change at this moment. It's not dead dark yet. And when it gets completely pitch black out here, that's when it's going to be completely different. But right now, it's getting tighter.
Car number 1 of Martin Truex Jr. He is in 2nd position, being shown about 5 seconds behind Kenseth. There's a 17 car of Matt Kenseth. You see the interval going by. There's Jeff Burton, the lap car. There is the 1 car who's in 2nd spot.
We're going to see all these guys on pit road here in just about 3 or 4 laps.
And it looks like that debris that was on the right front corner, Martin Truex, has actually blew off the car, so it's back to looking normal. I guess that was a decal that was on there, actually.
You know, it doesn't look normal. I saw the brake rotor glowing getting in the corner. You usually don't see that on a 1.5-mile racetrack. But I saw the brakes glowing red while he was getting into turn.
Yeah, that's pretty unusual. So they're really sailing these cars down in a corner and using a lot of brake to slow them down. And that's something you don't see early in the run or in qualifying, things like that. But as the tires wear, they got to slow these cars down just a little bit more.
Guys up on the wall getting ready for their next pit stop as we just a handful of laps away from the halfway point. Here is Matt Kenseth on pit road. He's coming off 5 consecutive top 5 finishes, trying to get a win here. Right behind him, the 7 car of Robbie Gordon as we go down to Jamie Little.
I'll tell you what, they've made very few changes on this 17 machine. He says he's a little free getting in and a little tight, but he said just leave it. Don't make any adjustments. I'm happy with the way the car is. Obviously, he's been dominating this race. 4 tires, no changes, like I said. Full fuel for Matt Kenseth. Dave?
The 1 car of Martin Truex is on pit road. They made a 2-tire stop the last time down pit road. Definitely 4 this time for the 1 car. Running very well. No wrenches going in the back window. So it'll be air pressure adjustments only for Martin Truex. Loose early. Then the car came to him during the run. The 12 car of Jimmy Johnson, championship leader, right now padding his points lead over his teammate Jeff Gordon. The car is a little loose late off the corner. 4-tire change and an air pressure adjustment. Alan.
Well, Jeff Gordon came on his radio just a little while ago discussing his car's handling after that condition I told you about. Said, you know, if we get 4 tires, I think we'll be okay. Well, he just cut them now and got out ahead of Jimmy Johnson, Jamie.
And Tony Stewart has the same complaint a lot of these teams have. He said he's just a little free in the beginning, but as that sun sets, it's cooling down. The car is coming to him. That pit crew trying to redeem themselves after some bad pit stops last weekend. It's a good stop for Tony Stewart. Dave?
And Ryan Newman is in that car real tight, according to the driver. They've already been on the right side. They finish up on the left side and send him down pit road. Mark Martin also on pit road in front of him.
Pit stops the order of the day. We are 3 laps away from halfway. Juan Pablo Montoya in front of Mike Massaro.
And Doc, they're going to make an air pressure adjustment on the 42 car. The only thing that Juan was really concerned with, he wanted to know if any fast cars were running the bottom groove. He was told no. He was considering running that groove. He obviously went against that. Meanwhile, the 26 car headed down pit road as well. Jamie McMurray making a stop, a 4-tire change. No major adjustments, just air pressure to that machine.
Here's Casey Mears, a 25 car who was being shown as the leader. Remember, he will move to the 5 car next year with Alan Gustafson as a crew chief. Still is a part of Hendrick Motorsports. Coming down for his pit stop on lap 132 at 45 miles an hour. They're cycling through this second section of major pit stops for everyone under the green flag. He heads down to Alan Bestwick.
Yeah, it takes a long time to get there at that pit road speed limit, doesn't it, Doc? 4 tire change coming up here for Casey Mears. We talked about this being the last race for that number 25 for Hendrick Motorsports. Casey's car, he feels like the adjustments they made on the last pit stop helped. They're going to go a little more on this pit stop as they work toward the nighttime hours, and this track continues to cool. Mike?
And Reed Sorensen looking for a clean pit stop. Remember last time, the Jackman hit the deck. This time clean, though. He's away.
Pit stops continuing. You see Reed Sorensen exiting the 17 car, now cycling back as a leader. Now, this is a Roush Fenway car. We told you the guy who's won the last 3 in a row here, a Roush Fenway car, and that was Greg Biffle. And we had Greg Biffle as our guest there during our qualifying show in the pit studio on Friday, and he said when the track gets cool and the sun goes down, our cars get really, really good. Watch for us to change significantly when it starts to get dark.
Here we got Juan Pablo Montoya just made his pit stop. You see his crew cam right here from Chip Good. He's the rear tire carrier. He carries the tire out here for this rear tire changer. You see all the action, how quick these guys have to move. Has to get that tire back to the pit wall, grab this new tire for the left rear, stick this thing on here, and he's got to stick it right on the studs for this tire changer so he can hit all 5 nuts and drive off.
Chip, a former go-kart racer, loves to be able to go over the wall there and change tires for the Ganassi Sabatas team for Juan Pablo Montoya. A couple of open wheelers there on the screen. Patrick Carpentier in the 10 car. He'll run full-time in 2008. His second consecutive start here at the end of the year in that 10 car. Going up high, the 17 car of Matt Kenseth. He is the leader. The one of Martin Truex is in second position. Kurt Busch, the 2 car, back in third. Remember, Busch had the unscheduled stop for the vibration back on lap 100. Just past the halfway point at Homestead-Miami. Back with more in a moment. This telecast is available on ABC HD, presented by DLP HD TV. Monday Night Football on ESPN continues tomorrow in the thin air of Invisco Field at Mile High as Vince Young leads the Tennessee Titans in a battle against Jay Cutler and the Denver Broncos. Monday Night Football on ESPN, 8:30 Eastern Time. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern with Monday Night Countdown. Mike Jaws, Tony Michelle, and our own Susie Culver will be there out in Denver. Should be a good one coming up on Monday night. Take a look at our Ford lap leaders. Matt Kenseth has led 4 times for 108 laps. Kurt Busch has led 17 laps. You see Ryan Newman there has led 8. Eddie Hamlin. And you remember now Jimmy Johnson has led a lap, so he's gotten the extra 5 bonus points. As we take you up to speed with our lead drivers, starting with Matt Kenseth and Jamie Little.
Well, Doc, what a difference this race has turned out to be for Matt Kenseth. It's his 8th start, and it's the first time he has ever led here. And you mentioned Greg Biffle talking about how good these Roush Fenway Fords come to life when the sun goes down. Well, that's certainly the case for the 17. He's turning up the wick, and that's bad news for the rest of the field. Mike?
It's been kind of a rough summer for Denny Hamlin. In fact, he only has 3 top 10 finishes in his last 12 races. Tonight, though, a completely different story. He describes his car as, quote, awesome. Just minimal changes on that car, a couple of air pressure adjustments. That's about it. Dave?
And confirming what Eddie was looking at earlier, Doc, as well, that right front damage on the 1 car, that is a decal coming off. The reason he got the front damaged in that practice crash, he kind of whipped it around. Back end hit, front end whipped around. They think it's okay, though. 4 tire stop and going good. Jamie?
Well, Tony Stewart, 2-time winner here. He's never won on this new base configuration. He feels like he maybe have the car to win here tonight, but his best finish the last 9 races, 3rd. Dave?
The 12th car this year, well, the performance has been there, according to crew chief Mike Nelson. They've been really proud of that. Trying to finish off the year strong. He's been close a few times. Today, a tight race car that they need to keep adjusting on, Jamie.
And hats off to Dave Blaney. He has been in the top 10 this entire race. It's all about securing the top 35 in the points. He sits 35th right now. He's looking at Daytona, wants a guaranteed
action were to come out in the next 2 laps, it would be a huge break for Kurt Busch. Remember, he had to pit under the green at lap 99 for the vibration. He right now is cycled back around, and if the yellow came out, all the other leaders would stop. But Kurt's 2 laps away from pitting, and that's going to put him back a lap down. Jeff Gordon is in 7th place now. Gordon's just going around Kurt Busch. Gordon feeling the 4 tires have helped his car. His team saying they really can't do anything foolish and take any silly chances right now, because anything could happen with the 48 until later in the race. They've got to still play slightly conservative as well. Mike?
Juan Pablo Montoya in searching mode right now, searching for the right line on the racetrack. Says he's good on the bottom, just not fast enough. Still trying to find the place where his car reaches optimum performance. He's saying the car gets looser as the run goes on. Dave?
Johnson looking for an edge today, but doesn't want his car to be edgy, and it is a little bit right now in turns 1 and 2. Edgy, according to the driver after that last pit stop. They did make an adjustment. Mike?
Carl Edwards still looking for just a little bit more. It's not quite perfect. He's looking for a wedge adjustment next time in. The command from his crew chief, Bob Osborne, is 3-pronged. Be smooth, be patient, and watch out for the rookie, Patrick Carpentier. He says he's running just a little bit too hard right now. Wants Carl to be very aware of that. Dave?
Well, Mark Martin finishing out the year in the 0-1 car. It's been a good year for him. Highlights include almost winning the Daytona 500, driving a Busch car for Rick Hendrick, and doing what he can for this DEI team, as now Ryan Newman has spun in turns 3 and 4. Guys?
And boy, that's good news for Kurt Busch. That's exactly what Busch needed, and it happened by his own teammate. Man, that was just unbelievable, Andy, when you never think your teammate's going to spin and help you out.
Ryan Newman spinning here, bringing out caution number 4 on the day, lap 148, and probably mixed emotions right now for Roger Penske. They wanted the caution for the 2 car, but not to have the 12 car bring it out, his other cars. Newman now will bring the car around and try to get service done on his Dodge.
Looks like he's just got a little damage to the front end of the car on the bottom side there. If they can get that fixed, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, the lower air dam's very important on these cars. It's all tucked under a couple inches, so
he's got a little damage on the right rear corner.
I think I can add something to the front of that, Andy. Beat that left front fender out. Should be okay.
If we can show you what happened here, right in front of the 24 car of Jeff Gordon. Tony Stewart is there. Watch Gordon go get by. Ryan Newman kept the car somehow and from going up across the racetrack. Stewart got by, as did the 2 car of Kurt Busch.
And here's Jeff Gordon just minding his own business, passing the 20 car. It's like, whoa. Somebody parked in the middle of the racetrack.
Yeah, he got stopped pretty good, and so did Tony Stewart. He really woed that number 20 car down big time.
Let's go down to Jamie Little as the 17 car is going to be headed to you for his pit stop. Jamie?
Well, some bad news for our leader, Matt Kenseth. He just came over the radio and said, guys, I've lost my primary battery and I have no brake fluid. This is going to make things really difficult tonight. Remember, this happened to him in Dover, and it cost him the entire race. 4 tires, no changes. Let's go to Alan.
Jeff Gordon, center frame, said, I am having a lot of trouble passing guys. His crew chief, Steve Letard, said, your lap times look good. We just need to get up there and race with him. It's going to be a 4-tire change for the 24.
Chankenhouse asking his driver, is it really loose or just a little bit? Let's do a little something, says Jimmy Johnson. That'll be a wedge adjustment in the left rear, air pressure on the right rear as they come to the left side now. The 24 is going to win that race off of pit road this time.
Clint Boyer gains 10 spots. You see Tony Stewart -5. Kenseth will remain the leader, but boy, that battery issue's got to be worrisome in the 17 pit. Back after these messages and a word from our ABC stations.